Hello and welcome to Kamora's Cultural Corner, where we discuss cultural humility coming from a Black, queer, and Afrocentric lens. Now, if you're watching this video, you've probably been working with people for a bit of time now, and you've probably taken some workshops and maybe some classes in cultural competence, and that's wonderful, and it's time to take that next step. It's time to take that next leap. So welcome to 2020, and hello, my name is Kamora Herrington, and I'm the founder and visionary of Kamora's Cultural Corner. And when we step into the idea of working in cultural humility, we are really looking at ourselves rather than other folks. So, hello, welcome people who work with people. You've probably been wanting for a really long time to figure out how you can meet people where they are authentically. And in order to do that, that means showing up as our authentic self. So cultural humility really is thinking of how we can step into the work, bringing truly our authentic self and not just pieces of ourselves. So if you've done anything around the idea of intersectionality, yep, here we go. We're stepping into brave space, out of safe space, and into brave space where we're going to challenge ourselves and where we're going to challenge each other to really get to an idea of understanding. Now, when we're working in cultural humility, there's a lot of scary, dangerous places, and I want to make it completely clear that as we do this work, there are going to be times when you're ready to step out, to run out, and you're just going to want to stop the conversation. That's cool, that's okay. One thing that we're talking about a whole lot these days is this idea of white privilege, and white privilege out there in the larger world exists, and it's a thing, and it needs to be discussed and analyzed and confronted in all the ways that it needs to be confronted and analyzed. And when you're working with the KCC, we don't discuss the idea of white privilege. We definitely understand that there's this thing that exists in our society that is this idea of white supremacy, and that is this idea that whiteness and white folks somehow should have some extra something happening. But when we think of privilege, a privilege is actually an extra right bestowed upon someone, or an extra something that they've earned. And when we're having these conversations, we understand that marginalized people, Black folks, brown folks, people of color, people who come from any marginalized identity have a privilege of knowledge of self that people from the majority culture don't often have. So when you come into this space, we don't know white privilege. We completely understand privilege of knowledge of self, which means that as we have these conversations, understand that the Black and brown and people of color are going to probably take lead in many of these conversations. And then let's get to this idea of that white supremacy that we were talking about. Very often, if you're a white person, when you're ready to step into the conversation and you feel that, and you're ready to just jump in and say a thing and be a thing and confront a thing, step back. Hello, America. Hello, 2020. Those are vestiges of white supremacy that are trying to step into the conversation. I just threw a whole lot out there really, really quickly, and I look forward to talking with you. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to doing a whole lot of great and amazing things as we step forward into this work. And I just want to share before we end the KCC's definition of community. And that would be right here. We would say that practicing and living in community means that we are responsible to ourselves and others. It means that we're committed to engaging humbly and bravely with others who we may not agree with, but who share a similar worldview. Tensions and conflicts are gifts that allow us to grow together. So we look forward to gifts, we look forward to growing together, and have a